Hi, this is David Harrison here. I want to thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to get a quick review here of what we're doing with version 3 of Four Corners Alliance Group. As you guys know, we started in 2013 with the 4x6 opportunity. That was actually the second iteration of Four Corners Alliance Group. The first one was 2x16 in 2000 conceived in 2012. So this version is version 3, and one of the things I wanted to make sure that I achieved was not to take away anything about the existing comp plan that has made Four Corners the success that it has been. And I certainly didn't want to disturb or make everything completely different or disturb the nature of the compensation plan. So we spent quite a bit of time thinking about what we should do here. And so let's just dive right into some of the changes. We've still got exactly the same concept of making payouts, one commission and one instant matching commission. The only thing we've done here, as you'll see, is we've raised the prices. And the reason that we did that is because I needed to reshape the steepness, if you will, of what it takes to upgrade between the different levels. I think I look at it like a teeter-totter or seesaw, depending on which part of the world you live in. We'll understand either of those two terms. The original teeter-totter was just too steep. It was almost like climbing up a brick wall after level 3 for a lot of people. That hurt the leaders, it hurt everyone, it hurt the whole program, slowed it down. I've watched this for year after year after year, and as much as I was reluctant to make any changes whatsoever to the program, I finally just got to the point where I said, either the price is going to have to come down on product sets 5 and 6, or the price has to come up on product sets 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, as it turned out, to make that teeter-totter a little flatter and a little easier to climb. So think about it like that. So product set 1 is now $28. That's actually a mistake there. It's $28, and that gives you an $8 commission. So $32 across the front row, $12 commission on row 2, $192 across the front row. It's a pretty massive difference from the way we have been to this point. $24 commission on row 3, which is $1,536, and $10,240 on this row at a $40 commission, a $70 commission, and $120 still the same as it was before. I know I'm rushing through this, and it's because I know you guys know the system pretty well, so I don't need to dally. So here it is again. You've seen this chart before. I've had these slides for some time now, but here it has the new figures in it. All right, so just quickly, we have been accused from time to time. In fact, there's two sites out there that I know are persistent about the fact that all we have is resale rights products. It's not true at all. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. We started off with resale right products back in 2012 into 2013 with the view that we would I was interested in doing financial education. I think most people know that about me by now. And I wanted to do proof of concept. I wanted to make sure that the products would be acceptable before I spent an arm and a leg and some more on product development, and after that translations, because I always had it in mind that we would be in as many languages as we could possibly support, or that the markets would support. So we started off with some resale rights products, and while we had our financial services team writing books, and we started off with 5 of our own, and the rest were resale rights. We quickly replaced those very early on, and in fact we replaced all of those in 2014, and except for a couple of books. One was this one you can see sneaking behind here, Financial Literacy, The Essentials. I thought that it was a book that had good content for what we wanted to do at level 1. We had it proofread and reworked and updated, and grammar and so on and so on. We've constantly had problems with people complaining about that book. It's been a thorn in my side with some of these websites, and so it was time to replace that stuff. So I've got 9 new books on the way. We have 41 of our own titles now, by the way. I've neglected to mention that a minute ago. So we kept fleshing out our own material from our financial services ghostwriters, and we're now up to 41 out of the 43 books that we have in our series. and we have 9 more coming. Here's 3 of them. We've got a 3-part series on debt repair. The first 2 I'm going to put in level 1. I'm also going to put this book on So You Want to Borrow Money, all about lending. I think that's something that we'll just sort of take for granted about, it's not about just waltzing down to the bank and or an online application, and if they're gracious enough to give you the loan, you worry about the rate after that. This gets into the whole strategy of how to assess your credit score, and that's not only that, but it's about payday loans. How to use money in a strategic way, minimize your expenses, and so on and so on. And once you start making good money in business, quite often it's actually strategically cheaper to take a low interest loan at times and put your own money to work in other ways. So all good stuff, great basic stuff, all the things that I believe an entrepreneur needs to know to make strategic decisions. Okay, so we'll get these translated as we move on down the road as well. As I said, there's some other series that we're going to bring out too to flesh out our consumables and so on, some of our consumable series and things like that. So let's get right down to it. Here's the matrix with the new numbers, as you're familiar with it on the website. Now, it's a very important new thing that we're introducing. I mean, I could have just increased the commissions, and that probably would have been good enough. I mean, if you look here, you look how much it's injected into the first 3 rows. I mean, as matches, this is so much more money now. It's quite honestly, in reflection, would have been better 5 years ago. But hey, listen, it's 5 years later. The economy is buoyant now in the US and a lot of other countries compared to what it was when we launched this. The landscape's a little different, and I think we're ready for it. I think everyone's ready for it. Now, here's what I think is really going to blow your socks off. At least I sure hope so, because I think this is really a great addition. We're introducing this thing called the dynamic matrix. This solves 2 problems as far as the way I look at it. Some people can build a big team, some people not so much, or some people get discouraged when they hit row 3 and they're not making any money by signing people up at level 1. So I thought the best way to solve that problem is to help people get level 2 matches, level 2 commissions, and level 2 matches, and then level 3 commissions so much faster in a way that it won't sting so much, perhaps is a way to say it. So the dynamic matrix, what it does is that once you personally sponsor 4 people, you can send out a personal invitation link, and the personal invitation link is a join link to put somebody on your front row in a 5th position. So we're opening up a new leg. Okay, so here's the math on that. Now you've got $40 in commissions on row 1. Because you've now got 25 on row 2, you have $200 in matches. So Shazam! All of a suddenly, it makes quite an impact here. Now we're taking it further because we're going to let you continue to send out invite links. Here's 6. And the money that'll bring in, and then you find another good person to put on the first row of 7. That was my thinking, is that you probably want to be able to cherry pick who's going to go on your front rows. So from the front row position from 5 all the way through to 10, we're going to let you take it out to 10 initially, and we'll see how our software likes that. If you get my drift, I mean, it's really about the genealogy viewer as much as anything. We're going to let you take it out 10 wide. So every time you find that right person and send out an invite link, the potential income on those first 3 levels is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Some could say astronomical. This really changed. This is a game changer. This changes what Four Corners is all about, really. There it is as a 10. Now, this is something that I guess I really focused on the 10 because I really believe there's people who will say, you know what, I think that between myself and people like 10 good, strong workers I know that I'm going to build out a team of 1,110 people, and some of these people will be filling out on the next row down here. And I know I'm going to send some of you guys some bigger checks than I've ever sent. Oh, well, not checks. I don't send checks anymore. But I'm going to be sending you some bigger payments than I've ever sent you to this point. I truly believe that. So I'm very excited about this. I think that, I guess I've stewed on this for a long time on how to make additions to what we already have in Four Corners. The reason I decided that you have to personally sponsor 4 first before you expand is because we want all of the beginners to just be focusing on a 4x6 matrix and the basic message. The only difference for them is that it's a $28 start, and the purchase price, as you see it here, it's $20 on row 1. That's the actual product purchase price. It's not including the $8 admin fee. We haven't changed the admin fee since the day we launched, and we're keeping it that way. No changes there. I truly believe that the increase in sales volume will help the company anyway, and we are going to introduce an annual $8 fee that helps us with support and helps me continue to develop new concepts and new ideas that we can bring to the members. Now, here's something that I hope you're excited by now. I'm very excited about this. But, here's another thing that you may have heard bandied around for a while. We're talking about doing a lottery thing a year ago, and that was going to be the big 2.0 thing I talked about at December 2016. We had a partner who is going to bring that on an app for us. We had all the contacts. We had all of the logistics of riding on the coattails of Powerball. We couldn't present that to Americans, so I saw that as a problem. And a lot of our leaders that I talked to in the overseas markets were a little bit apprehensive about doing anything else other than offering that to within the membership. They didn't want to take it to the public. One of my goals is to give us a much stronger retail opportunity, and I think that's a very important aspect of any network marketing company. And so anyway, the lotto thing kind of died on the vine after I'd made a big song and dance about it early on. I had to just go quiet on it because I could tell that really it was going to be a bit of a misfire. So I've come back to it again with a different idea, and it's not exclusively my idea. It was an idea that we threw around when I was visiting briefly in Africa to set up our African company there. We're doing a bit of brainstorming, and we came up with an alternative idea, and the idea is to have a sweepstakes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a portion of we're reinventing what was the residual program. Instead of it being a monthly thing at $30, we're making it a weekly thing at $10. I want people to focus on what they're going to make every week. I think most people, when they get involved in a network marketing company, really are thinking week to week. So let's focus on giving them something to focus on a week-to-week basis. So I think it's a great way to get people engaged in the weekly program. We're initially going to offer the newsletter. However, I am going to introduce some other great products into the weekly. Some will be great for retail consumption, for people who are managing their own 401k in the United States, like a superannuation fund. So let's go take a look at how the Premier Weekly Education Program with sweepstakes works. Premier Weekly Education. All right, so it's a $10 product weekly. It's not a subscription. You opt in every week. You can subscribe if you want to take the burden of having to jump in here all the time and paying $10 a week. So what we've done is we've got a $10 purchase price. $5 is going out in commissions. There's a lot of overhead in bringing you high quality content every week, so that $5 is needed for all those kind of things. $2 of that $5 is going into the sweepstakes. However, the company is willing to set a base on the minimum sweepstakes payout to make it exciting, basically. So let's look at the numbers here. This is multi-level. You'll be able to examine these here and hit pause, and also on the website. We've weighted this so that the first 4 levels is where most of the activity is. We've made the levels 5 and 6 more residual, and this, by the way, also is influenced by when you qualify for the dynamic matrix, where you can start adding an additional leg, and so on and so on and so on. So these numbers will go up. I'll be showing you that here in a minute. So let's take a look quickly at the commission matches. So remember, this is weekly money, okay? Right now, of course, we're looking at it 4 wide. If you're in a position where you're taking advantage of the dynamic matrix and you're growing wider, those numbers are going to start to grow significantly over time, okay? This is weekly income. When you go 6 wide, because I'm focusing on the matches because that's where the money is in Four Corners, right? You want to be building teams. You want to help your teams work, and that benefits you in your matching commissions, okay? All right, so you can see that once you're 7 wide on row 3, because remember I was talking before about focusing on 3 rows, right? So there's nothing wrong with $1,200. Not even in the US, there's nothing wrong with $1,200 a week. When you get 8 wide, you've got $2,000 a week. 9 wide, now it's really building up. 10 wide, look at that. Great money. Weekly money. It's fantastic. All right, so let's just review this very quickly. Each participant in a weekly product receives a ticket in the sweepstakes. So we're going to talk about what that sweepstakes pool is in a minute. For each purchase in the book matrix, which is our main 4x6 matrix I talked about at the beginning, by an independent business owner, IBO, the independent business owner receives additional tickets in the following numbers. Now this is a bit of additional fun and I guess a thank you from the company when you upgrade. So when somebody first comes in, when you recruit, let's look at it from the point of view when you first recruit somebody. If they choose to opt in and they want to get the weekly Premier program, they will get 1 additional ticket. So they're in level 1, product set 1, and they've gone into the Premier weekly. They get 1 extra ticket. When they buy product set 2 and they're in the weekly in that week that they bought product set 2, they will get 2 tickets. When they buy product set 3 and they're in the weekly in the week that they bought product set 3, they will get 3 tickets. Same thing when they buy product set 4 in the week that they're also paid up in the Premier weekly, they will get 6 tickets. When they buy product set 5, they will get, and they're in the Premier weekly matrix, they will get 8 tickets. When they buy product set 6 and in that week they're in the Premier weekly matrix, they will get 10 tickets. Okay, so pretty exciting. It gives them the leverage. And actually, well, what it's doing is it's improving their odds of winning the sweepstakes in that week. All right, so what is the prize? Well, what we decided to do is set the prize at a minimum. We're going to not start the sweepstakes until we hit what I guess you could call critical mass, or the minimum number of people required. Now, that doesn't mean that we're waiting for 12,000 people. For those of you who are quick on your math, because we're putting $2 aside from each Premier product sale, we decided that we wanted to make it exciting and a good win, and we're not paying all the money to one person. We're sharing it. So what we're doing is the company is going to pitch in some, but there is a minimum, and the minimum number of people to make the sweepstakes prize draw active is 5,500 people. Now, that's not a lot. Bear in mind that we're all over the world. We've been in business for 5 years. We have a lot of people, and this is a very strong retail opportunity as well. So here's the prize pool to start with. Once we hit that critical mass, for every additional person that comes into the Premier Weekly, it will raise the pool. So the pool is going to start at $24,000. And after we get more than 12,000 people a week, that prize will start to go up every week. Okay, so we're going to draw it every Thursday once we hit that critical number of 5,500. Now, the winner receives 10% of the total pool. So when we start off and it's 24,000, obviously that means that the winner that we draw is going to get $2,400. Okay. We've got a couple of techniques for paying that quickly. It's not going to be part of the normal withdraw method of Four Corners. It's going to be paid on the same day, provided we have payment details for that person. We're going to make it possible to provide us with payment details when you buy the Premier Weekly program, so that we can keep this moving fast. And quite honestly, it just makes it a lot simpler for admin. It doesn't tie up our time as much reaching out to people saying, hey, what's your bank details, and back and forwards and back and forwards. So $2,400 goes out to the winner. The sponsor of the winner receives 100% match. We're going to stick to all of the same old rules so that we're repeating ourselves and there's nothing strange or different. So that means that the sponsor of the winner is going to get $2,400. I think that's pretty exciting. We're going to take it a lot further, though, because 6 teammates directly up line are going to receive a share of the sweepstakes prize as well, with 6 matching bonus prize payouts. So what that means is that there's going to be 12 additional payouts upline. So there's some math involved in that, obviously. And furthermore, we're going to be paying some diamond leader bonuses and all of that as well. So the total payout for all those positions upline is something in the order of around $1,500-ish. It's something like that. But obviously that's going to change as the $24,000 number starts to creep up. Okay, so it's very exciting stuff. So somebody is going to win from a drawing. The drawing is, we've designed an algorithm, if you like, to put everybody's name in the pool for the drawing based on the figures I was showing you before. So if they've got how many tickets they've got, and it'll literally just uses a randomizer to draw somebody out. And when somebody wins, their upline is going to win in the way I just described here. Okay, so I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun for me to do every Thursday. All right, so let's talk about retail, because I'm an old retailer. What we're setting up here with the Premier Weekly program, I've done specifically with the view to focus on being able to set everybody up to have a strong retail store. I think it's very important that we have great products. I want to feel proud about the products that we're all selling. And I know that our product will be very, very attractive to people who are looking to self-manage their funds, people who are looking, like I mentioned earlier, very, very few funds outperform the S&P 500. We will be putting together some good marketing material to support a retail push. Now, the thing is that for retail customers, part of that push is that you can market the fact that it's some features of a great product to help them self-manage their funds and so on, and to have a view of the marketplace from the point of some financial analysts and so on that we work with. But also, they'll be able to participate in the sweepstakes. Now, for customers and for our members who feel comfortable about retailing, you guys are in for a treat, because if a retail customer wins the sweepstakes, the retail customer, the seller to the retail customer, and the upline diamonds all share in the $24,000 prize. So what that means is that 22% is paid to the customer, 22% is paid to the seller to the customer, and 6% goes in diamond bonuses, right? So you know, that's you can do 22% of 24,000 on your calculator, and you can see how much money that is. So can you imagine? You know I'd be one of these people. I'd be putting my plans together, my marketing materials together, my strategy to be retailing the Premier Weekly Matrix program to as many customers as I possibly could. My goal would be to get at least 100, because of a couple of things. One is that the income is great, and not only that, but the chances that what you've done is, because you're the seller, you've basically given immediately every week, you've got 100 tickets in effectively, because you've got 100 customers with tickets, so you're going to get the matching commission, right? So you've effectively given yourself 100 chances. Besides your own positions and things you're doing in your matrix, you have 100 positions extra to win a share of that money, right? So it's all strategy, and I'm looking for those retailers to highly motivate you to take this out to the marketplace. So here it is by the numbers: $5,280 each to customer and seller. $720 goes to the first diamond upline. $360 to the 2 qualifying diamonds above the first diamond, and we'll be talking about the diamond qualifications here at the end. All right, so retail sales. Of a retail sale, any sale, of any product in our system, 20% of the sale goes to the company. Of the remainder, so we've got 80% left, so we'll make that now the whole. So the remainder of that, 80% of the remainder goes to the affiliate making the sale, and 20% goes to the sponsor of the affiliate making the sale. Okay, that's how retail sales commission is paid out. I've got a collection of some of our books here. We've got over 51. We've got 43 titles right now. We'll have 51 by the end of July of 2018. Those books will go into translation as well in main languages. All right, so let's talk about the Diamond Leader bonuses. We've changed this a little bit for version 3. What we've done is we've taken the Diamond Leader qualification has always been and will still remain 200 personally sponsored. Okay, so that has not changed. When you become a Diamond Leader, you get a 3% Diamond Leader commission on the sales from your organization, with the exception of the organization of any Diamond Leaders below you. Okay, so when you first become a Diamond Leader, let's just say for our example right this moment, that there are no Diamond Leaders, that nobody else got to 200 personally sponsored members before you. So everything going on in your downline will give you a Diamond Leader 3% commission. It's an organizational commission. Okay, as soon as there's somebody in your downline that becomes a Diamond, all of the activity in their downline is now cut off to you. That Diamond Leader is getting the 3%. Okay. Now we also have, this is new for version 3, we have a Blue Diamond Leader. The qualifications are 200 personally sponsored, 256 recruits on your level 4. And I will tell you that these two almost go together hand in hand anyway. And so what you get is you get 3% Diamond Leader commission on the sales from your organization, with the exception of the organization of any Diamond Leaders below you, just like we're talking about a moment ago with the Diamond Leader. That still remains in effect. So in other words, if you became a Blue Diamond Leader and there's no diamonds underneath you at all, it would be exactly the same scenario we're talking about as with the Diamond Leader, right? You get all the same benefits basically, right? Now where it changes a little bit is if you do have a Diamond Leader below you, what you get is a 1.5% Diamond Leader matching commission on the sales from your Diamond Leaders below you. All right, so let's take a look at a Triple Diamond Leader. This is also new for version 3. This requires 200 personally sponsored and 1,500 members in your organization. And what you get is this. So once again, we still have the same 3% on the same rules we've talked about with Diamond Leader. Okay, so you get 3% on all of the activity of people who are not diamonds and blue diamonds. You do get the 1.5 Blue Diamond Leader matching commission on all the sales from the Diamond Leaders below you, and you also get a Triple Diamond Leader matching commission on the sales from Blue Diamond Leaders below you. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the new things, some of the changes that have happened in the Four Corners Alliance Group software, and some of the ways that we're improving the way that leaders can replace dead positions is what we're going to focus on in this example, but I'm just going to quickly alright, that makes that go away. This is a demo account, so let's go take a look at what you can do to clean up some of the people in your downline that are not interested or not doing anything for you. So what you do is go to the genealogy viewer. So here's the front row. Now, because this is a demo server for us to test our new software, these guys have actually all become dormant members. That's what this this square means. Okay, if somebody doesn't do an activity for 3 months, they will go dormant. The activity is they make a retail sale, they buy a product, they bring someone into the compensation plan, right? They recruit someone. They don't do any of those activities for 3 months, they go dormant. We're testing 3 months for the time being. That was a compromise. I personally would have preferred a lot shorter time, like 6 weeks, because I think if you haven't got somebody doing anything in 6 weeks, they're not going to do anything, most likely, you know. Anyway, so what you do is you click on the question mark, and it'll explain what's going on here. And then what you do is you can reserve that position. Now, this is a very important thing, is that you might have recruited this person, but when one of your guys goes dormant, it's anybody's position. Anyone in your upline can see this as well. If somebody else wants to replace that position, they can. Okay, they'll see the same thing from their genealogy. They can click on this question mark and pick one of these two, either a pay it forward sign up or a general sign up. Okay, are you certain you want to reserve this spot? Reserve it for 4 hours. So basically, we're generating a special link, right? Okay. All right, so now the links show up. It is going to be possible shortly to bring people only into the Platinum Marketing Weekly program with sweepstakes. So that's what this link's for. If you want to bring them into financial literacy, the existing Matrix 4x6 book matrix, you give them this link. So just so you can see what that looks like. I'm just going to make this pop a new tab here. I did that on a Mac, by the way, by holding down the Command key before I clicked on the link. All right, so this is the special link that you just created. You can see Top Stuff is in there. So it's a normal sign up. You can see it's at the new price. So when this person signs up and their sign up is complete, close this, they will show up here. They'll replace this position. Okay, so what will happen is that this username will change and everything. Well, this person, Top Stuff, shows up in your personally sponsored list and disappears off the genealogy. They don't need to be in the genealogy until they do an activity similar to what we talked about before, with the exception of a retail sale, because a retail sale does not need a genealogy position because it's paying a retail sale commission to the person, to the seller, and it's paying a sponsor commission. So there's only 2 commissions involved in that don't actually need the genealogy to do that research, right? Because we know who the sponsor is all the time without the genealogy. So what brings Top Stuff, in this case Top Stuff 2, back into the genealogy, because this, remember, they've just been replaced. So what brings them back in is they recruit someone, or they purchase a product and upgrade. If they're going to upgrade, then they need to be brought back into the genealogy. So it would, in this case, we'll just go down our 7 levels here, and I'm going to make this smaller. All right, so making them really small here. So if you look across here, so this guy here would then reappear someone down here on the on the 4th row, or 3rd row. There's a spot right there. One there, right? So it'll just drop in the weakest leg on the 3rd row, which is almost full. All right, so that's how the targeted replacement script works. All these guys, of course, have been this is a test server. It's been sitting here for a while with all of this stuff in it. So all these guys, for the most part, have gone dormant now. So all of these ones are up for replacement. And so you start by using the question mark to go into targeted replacement. You do not have to replace them. It's just simply that you're aware of the fact that these guys are at risk because they've done nothing. Okay, if you're okay with that, that's fine. But just bear in mind, somebody in your upline may be eyeing off, especially, I would say, most likely looking at your front row, if they're interested in replacing somebody there. Okay, they could do the same thing. They could click on that. So you sponsored this guy, right? But once he goes dormant, it's up for grabs. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's just recap. So we've got more commissions coming in the book matrix. We've got a new weekly premier product plus sweepstakes. We have a dynamic matrix which will expand up to 10 people on your first row. We now have targeted replacements, so you can replace people that are not working, that you want to put some fresh people in there in strategic positions. And let's finish up on this. The sweepstakes is a $24,000 starting point, and as that number of people weekly grows, the number 24,000 will grow. It will show in on the website and in the back office, so everybody will know what the pool is up to. So we're very excited about the new additions to the program, and we really look forward to you taking your business to the next level. Bye for now.